Today we're going to be testing Assassin's Creed Mirage on the Lenovo Legion Go. This has actually proven to be quite a painful game to test because when you tweak some settings and apply them, in some cases it has you restart the game and you have to go through all the intro, log in, etc., which takes a great deal of time. And what I found is as well, the tweaks I was making, the game wasn't looking as good as it did with the default settings that came when I loaded the game up. So I've reset those settings back and I'm just going to show you gameplay, not real gameplay, but running around the city to see the frame rates at 1600p, plugged in, unplugged, 30w tdp and 20w, 25w tdp, just to show how good the game looks. So with that being said, I'm at 1600p here and I am plugged in. Let me just make sure to put the battery. So this is how I'd play the game if I was close to a power socket or power outlet, whatever you want to call it. Just really looks good, making use of that 1600p screen, and has really good performance. So we can see I'm running around the city here, and when I'm engaged in combat I haven't seen the frame rate drop too much, but here we're kind of maintaining above 40 frames per second. It looks remarkably sharp, very easy on the eye, plays smoothly as well. And so if you are near a power source, play it with these settings, and I will show them in a second. In fact, let me show you now. So it's a bit of a tricky game to actually get into the settings. It's not intuitive. You have to press the button to get to the map, which is either the burger menu or the other one, and then you press this lower one a second time and you then get the options. It took me a while to figure that out. So here's the screen settings. We're borderless, 1610 native, 2560 by 1600, V-Sync's off, and resolution scale is 100%. Graphics wise, I've gone for the high preset, and I'll run through what those are. I won't read them out to you. Now, interestingly enough, this comes with depth of field on, motion blur on, which I always turn off. I'm going to leave them on because these are all presets. Now, interestingly enough, when I first started this, I thought it wasn't doing any upscaling, but it does have an upscale menu here, and it's defaulted in this case to TAA. Never heard of TAA, but it does have Intel XeSS and AMD FSR2. I've changed between TAA and FSR2. It doesn't seem to make a huge amount of difference. You can try out all three of these, but yeah, those are the settings with power on. So I'm going to use the same settings, same resolution, and I'm just going to unplug. And also with unplugging, I'm going to drop the custom down to 25. I did try this earlier, and I found that 20 just seemed to be a little less smooth. It was just very much a feeling. It didn't feel quite right. You could probably try 20 yourself and you might be entirely happy, but I just gave it a little extra power. Giving it that little extra power, of course, is going to have an impact on battery life. You can see in the top left I'm at 71% battery already. Been doing a lot of testing with unplugged, and we would get 46 minutes of gameplay on that, it reckons. But yeah, 25 is pretty good. Let's actually see what 20 watts would give us in terms of gameplay time and see if it's that big a difference. So here we are, we're on the 20W performance. Let's give it a little while for the overlay to update. Okay, so we're sort of 37, and apparently we're exactly the same sort of length of time, so I guess 25 watts is good to go. So now I'm going to change resolution, and I'm going to keep the same settings, but I'm going to drop down to 1200p. And like I say, keep all the settings, and so I'm not unplugging and plugging. I'll leave it unplugged for now, and we can see the performance there. So we can see that playing at this at 1200p with all the same settings, and at I think I'm on performance settings, we'd get 1 hour 5 minutes as opposed to 46. So it does make a big difference in game time. But at 1200p, the performance preset, it feels really smooth, and it still looks good enough to play, in my opinion. We're getting some frame rates of up to 50, but above 40, I'm kind of happy with high 30s, to be honest. Anything above the high 30s as a minimum, I find playable. And let's plug it. Let's just check the performance on it. Yes, I am on performance, and let's just plug it in to get an idea of exactly how that would affect the frame rates. Oops. Because it's still active, apparently I just randomly went to punch a stranger when I'm changing my performance settings. So if you are changing your performance settings, don't do it near a guard. Okay, so now we're sort of like maintaining above 50 plugged in. But again, if you are going to plug in, you may as well go up to 1600. So overall, settings out of the box, absolutely fine. I spent a lot of time tweaking and managed to make the game look really, really ugly. But I think the game looks beautiful and plays really well. This is a starting area, but I imagine it's not going to be much different anywhere else. Like I say, when I've engaged in combat, it's not slowed the frame rate down significantly. So I think it's a thumbs up on playability. Thank you for watching.